We continue now at the top of Daf Zayin Amud Aleph and Mesechet Bava Kamma. This is Bava Kamma Daf 87a. The Gemara continues, V'chein hayu Rabbi Yehuda potro mikol dinim shebat Torah. Likewise, Rabbi Yehuda exempts a blind person from all of the dinim in the Torah. My time of Rabbi Yehuda. What's the reason of Rabbi Yehuda? Amar Krutz, because the pasuk says, "V'shaftu ha'eda ben hamaka uvein goel hadam al hamishpatim ha'ela." It says that the congregation will judge between the makkah and between the goel hadam, the redeemer of the blood, on these laws. And we understand that to mean kol sheyeshno b'makkah uvegoel hadam. Anybody who's among the laws of the makkah, the one who strikes, and the goel hadam, the redeemer of the blood, yeshno b'mishpatim, is going to be included in the laws. Kol she'eno b'makkah uvegoel hadam. But if one is not included in the laws of the makkah and the laws of the goel hadam, eno b'mishpatim, he's not included in the laws. And Rashi explains, kol she'eno b'makkah v'suma, when it comes to a blind person, ha'afikte midin misas bezin. We've already said that he's exempt from the law of capital punishment of misas bezin. That's what it means over here when it talks about bein hamaka uvein goel hadam. And since he's exempt from the law of misas bezin, he's also exempt from all of the dinim in the Torah. And so the idea over here is that according to Rabbi Yehuda, the blind person is exempt from all civil laws. And the Gemara continues, Tanya Idach, we learned in another brayso, Rabbi Yehuda, Omer Rabbi Yehuda says, Summa ein lo boshes. By a summa, there's no halach of the boshes payment, as we mentioned above. V'chein hayer Rabbi Yehuda potro mikol mitzvahs ha'amuras b'Torah. And similarly, Rabbi Yehuda says that a blind person is potter from all mitzvahs in the Torah. Amar Rav Shisha b'rei Rav Idi, Rav Shisha, the son of Rav Idi, says, my time with Rabbi Yehuda. What's the reason of Rabbi Yehuda? Amar Kratz, because the pasuk says, Ve'ela ha-mitzvahs ha-chukim v'ha-mishpatim. It says these are the mitzvahs and the chukim and the mishpatim, and we understand as follows: Kol sheyeshno b'mishpatim yeshno b'mitzvahs v'chukim. Anyone who's part of the civil law, the mishpatim, he also is included in the mitzvahs and in the chukim. V'chol she'eno b'mishpatim. But if somebody is not included among civil law, eno b'mitzvahs v'chukim, he's not included in the mitzvahs and the chukim, and therefore, again, a blind person is exempt from the mitzvahs. Amar Rav Yosef said, Meireish ha'av amin. In the beginning I said, Man damar halachik Rabbi Yehuda damar summa pater min ha-mitzvahs, that if somebody would say the halach is like Rabbi Yehuda, but then Rabbi Yehuda says that a blind person is pater from mitzvahs, and Rabbi Yosef was blind, that's why he's making the statement, Ka'avdina yom atov l'Rabbanan, I would make a day of celebration for the Rabbanan. My time, what's the reason? Delom mifakidna, because it comes out that I am not commanded in the mitzvahs, v'ka'avdina mitzvahs, and yet I do mitzvahs. V'hashta deshamis l'had Reb Chanina, but now that I heard that which Reb Chanina said, D'yamar Reb Chanina, because Reb Chanina said, Gadol ha-mitzvah v'yosa, mimi she'eno mitzvah v'yosa, that it's greater to be commanded and do the mitzvahs than to not be commanded and do the mitzvahs. So it's exactly the opposite. Man da'amar li, if somebody says to me, Ein halachik Rabbi Yehuda, that the halach is not like Rabbi Yehuda, avdina yom atov l'Rabbanan, I'll make a day of celebration for the Rabbanan. My time, what's the reason? D'chim efakdina isli igrat fei, because if a person is commanded, the person I will actually have more reward. And the idea over here is that because Rav Yosef was blind, he would prefer that the halach is not like Rabbi Yehuda. This way, he would be commanded in the mitzvahs, and there's a greater reward if somebody does the mitzvahs when they are commanded. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah, Zech chomer ba'adam b'shor, in the following way, Adam is more stringent than shor. Sha'adam eshalem nezek tzar ripoy sheves and uboshes, because a person, if he causes damage, he has to pay all 5 payments: the damages, the pain, the healing, the sheves, the time lost for work, and the boshes, the humiliation. U'mishalem d'mei v'ladas. Additionally, if a person causes a woman to miscarry, he has to pay for the offspring. V'shor eino mishalem ela nezek. When it comes to an ox, he only pays damages. U'pater midmei v'ladas. He's pater in terms of causing a miscarriage, in terms of paying for the offspring. Hamakes aviv v'asimo. If a person strikes his father or his mother, v'lo asa ben chabur, and he doesn't cause a wound, v'chovel b'chavero b'yom ha'kippurim. Also, if somebody wounds his friend on Yom Kippur, chayev b'kulan, he's going to be chayev to pay all 5 nezek tzar ripoy sheves and boshes. Hachovel be'evid ivri. If a person injures an evid ivri, chayev b'kulan, he's going to be chayev in paying all of the 5 payments. Chutz min hasheves bizman shu shelo, except for sheves, if he owns the evid ivri, because then he's already losing the work. The evid ivri is working for him, so there's no point in paying the sheves payment. Hachovel be'evid kanani shel acherim chayev b'kulan. If somebody injures an evid kanani that belongs to somebody else, he's chayev to pay all 5 of the payments. Rabbi Yehuda says, Ein la'avodim boshes. There's no concept of a humiliation payment when it comes to avodim. Chereshot v'katan pegiyas ra. When it comes to a chereshot v'katan, a deaf mute, an imbecile, or a minor, so if a person engages in some kind of injuries back and forth with them, it's going to be bad only for the other person, meaning, hachovel behen chayiv. If somebody injures them, the chereshot v'katan, that person is going to be chayiv to pay. V'hem shechavlu ba'acherim. But if the chereshot v'katan injure others, peturin, they are going to be exempt. exempt. Similarly, ha'evid v'ha'isha, when it comes to a slave or a woman, pigiyas and ra, if there's going to be a situation of injuring one another, it's going to be bad for the other person. Ha'chovel b'hem chayiv, if somebody injures them, the person is going to be chayiv to pay. V'hem shechavlu ba'acherim peturin, but if they injure others, they are going to be exempt. However, the Mishnah says, avol mishalmin la'achar zman, but they will have to pay after some time in the following situations, meaning nisgarsha ha'isha, if the woman should become divorced, nishtachrer ha'evid, if the evid should be freed, chayav and l'shalim, they will be obligated to pay. Hamaka ave v'imo v'asa ben chabur, if somebody strikes his father or his mother and he wounds his father or his mother, v'achovel b'chaver b'Shabbos, or if somebody injures his friend on Shabbos. So the difference in these cases is that when the person makes a wound on the father and the mother, there's going to be a death penalty. Similarly, on Shabbos, as opposed to Yom Kippur, there's going to be a death penalty. So in those cases, pater mikul, and the person is completely exempt in terms of paying money, mibnei shehu nidon benafsho, because he's already being judged with his life. Once there's a death penalty, there's no need to pay the monetary payments. And if somebody injures his own Eved Kanani, pater mikulan, he is completely exempt. And Rashi explains chayav and l'shalim, that refers to the case where the woman is divorced or the Eved is freed, so then they do have to pay at that point in time. Why? Because really from the outset they really are chayav to pay. It's just that they don't have what to pay from. Because what's called the nichse milug, which is the property that the woman brings into the marriage, mishubadim labal, that's already mishubid to the husband, leperus v'lirusha, in terms of the fruits and in terms of the inheritance, and so therefore again they don't pay at that point in time, but at a later point in time they may pay. And the Gemara says, Boy minei Rebbe Elazar may Rav. Rebbe Elazar asks Rav the following question: Hachovel bebas ketana shel acherim. Let's say a person injures a girl who is a minor. Chavola lemisa. Who is that injury payment made to? Mi amrinun, do we say kevan da'akni le'rachmana shevach neurim la'av? Since the Torah says that the profits of her youth go to the father, that refers to the fact that the father gets the kesef kiddushin. He gets the money of the kiddushin. If he gives away this girl in marriage, he also gets the gifts that accompany that. So chavola nami davu have. So we'll say also the money for the injury goes to the father. My time, what's the reason? Because if she's injured, she actually is worth less in terms of what the father can get for her, and therefore he's entitled to the money. Odilmor, maybe we say no, shevach neurim hu da'akne le'rachman, it's only the profits of her youth that the Torah gives the father. Di'boy lemimsar lo lemuka shchin matzi masr, because if he wanted to, he can give her away to a man who's full of boils, and since he's able to do that, he gets the shvach neurim. Avol chavala, but when it comes to the money for the injury, kevan di'boy mischabel bo lo matzi chaval, if he wanted to injure her, let's say a father wanted to injure his daughter, he wouldn't be allowed to, just like he can't injure anybody. So lo kanya le'rachmana, so there the Torah does not say that he's able to get that money, that compensation. And Rashi explains, Bevas ketana shel acherim chavola lemi. Again, it's a daughter who's a minor, so who does the money go to? Gedola vaday didahav. If she's an adult, it's not a question. The money certainly goes to her, says Rashi. Shevach neurim la'av, the profits of her youth go to the father. Tichsib benureh be'savia, that's a pasuk. It says benureh be'savia, kol shvach neurim li'avia, afilu kesef kiddushin shalo. It says all of the profits of the youth go to the father, even the kesef kiddushin goes to the father. The boy masar la'avia l'mukashchin, because the father could, in theory, give her over to a mukashchin, d'chsiv, as it's written, as biti nasati leish hazeh, says, I gave my daughter to this man, alma biyadu lasita lemisha yirtzi. You see that it's in his, he has the ability to give her to whoever he wants. Hilkach kesef kiddushin ami liavia. Therefore, the kesef kiddushin also goes to her father, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Pei Zayin Amud Beis.